Hey guys, it's Cheyenne from Lapidary for Newbies. Finally getting around to making this video that I've been meaning to make for several weeks. I think I'm at about 5 weeks now with the CabKing and 8. And I just wanted to make a video and tell you my thoughts. It's going to be an honest review. We do have a partnership with CabKing, and they sponsor us and through an ambassadorship and things like that. But this will be honest regardless. There's really nothing negative to say about them. So let's get started. So the CabKing 8. Now we started with the CabKing 6, and I realized that my wife's workstation, she uses that, is a little more dirty than mine, but it's getting used daily. So the CabKing 8 is definitely a much larger machine. If I can get my camera to scroll out, it won't really scroll out or zoom out. So in comparison, I mean, they are quite different in size. So I absolutely love the machine. I like that it's one solid unit. You don't have belts, you don't have, things like that to wear out. It's on a solid shaft. You just slide your wheels on and off. If you need to change them out, it's very quick, very easy. I thought it might be a pain dealing, because I came from using an old Star Diamond from like the 60s. So it's a totally different ball game. Much better, in my opinion, the way it's set up. I think that the CabKing 6 is set up a little cooler in a sense. I don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure that the CabKing 8 is not set up in the way that the 8 is. But what I want to say is, so this is a really neat factor for somebody that needs to change out wheels and wheel types. So on the CabKing 6, this whole piece will slide. You have to take this off, which is very easy to do. Make sure this is not up in the way. This comes off. Then you can access your polishing wheel. You can leave it off if you want, but I leave it on because I splash a lot over here and it gets on her wheel, which makes it dirty. So, but you just unscrew this and this whole thing will slide off. And then you can slide on a whole new set of wheels. So if you needed to change things out, you can do that very quickly. On this one, it's still very quick, but you just take the nut off the end and then they slide off. It's very quick and easy. But with that, you can already have the 3 wheels set up and tighten down, and then you just slide it on and tighten it. So not a big issue. The reason why I like the CabKing 8 for myself is because I make a lot of intricate, well, I wouldn't say intricate, maybe things with lots of curves. And so, get this where you can see it. So like I make these little hummingbirds, and I make lightning bolts. Well, on the 6, if I'm trying to make a lightning bolt, when I go to polish in here, I can't really do that because it hits on this wheel. If I made tiny ones, and I do make tiny ones, I just don't have any that's not sold, then you could do it, but it'd have to only be, very short. Where over here on the 8, then I obviously have no problem. There's a lot more spacing. Now, if you wanted to use the CabKing 6 to do that, that's where that changing out this quickly can come into play, because you can space them more. So you could only have 2 wheels on here instead of 3, and then switch them in and out. You can do your first run with your certain types and then finish with your other types. That's an amazing design. That's one of the better things about it, in my opinion. So starting out, I will say, when I first got this one, I was not really impressed. Well, let me rephrase that. I was impressed, but I was upset because I had problems with water leaking. And I was like, what kind of, stuff is this? You spend all this money and then you're going to have water leaking. Well, not their fault, my fault. So I've always had my old stuff hooked up to the home line, and it's too much pressure. And these are only made to handle, I think it's either 4.3 or 3.4 pounds of pressure, which if you use the pump system that it comes with, then it works perfectly fine. I've got friends that have bought these and friends that use these, and they have no issues with that. So that was all on me. It wasn't anything to do with CabKing. At first I was just so aggravated because I kept having to deal with all these leaks and I couldn't figure it out. And so I was thinking, they use the cheapest junk possible, and that's not the case. CabKing uses, good quality materials, and the machine is awesome. I've had no issues. What I like about CabKing and what sold me on CabKing is the fact of the story that I'm going to tell you real quick. So when I first got that, I was having issues with the water, and because I'm a light snob, not that I'm a light snob, but I have to be able to see when I'm cutting in on something, and I need to see so I'm not leaving marks and getting too close. And the light that is supplied by CabKing is good, but for me, and I've always had a problem with bright, I need to see when I need to see. It's just not good enough for me. You can say that that's fine for you, and it is pretty good, but I want to really see. So it's not any fault on theirs. I still use their light. Actually, their light, or the soft white instead of the daylight, sometimes helps me see scratches in things that I'm trying to polish that I can't pick up as easily in this. So the light is great. I'm glad for it to be there. I just had to add in extra, especially when I'm working on something that's dark and like it's kind of shadowy in here, and I can't see. When it's black, you can't see your line that you've drawn on. And so I'm trying to make sure that I get it perfect, and then I can't really see as well as I'd like to. No fault to CabKing. So anyway, so I was having the issues with the water and then the light, and I was just, thinking I've spent all this money, and, it's not that I'm a wealthy guy. We spent like our savings to get this and get this thing going with our business. And so I wanted to be 100%, no problems, no issues. And so I was just looking for something to complain about. So I decided I was going to return it and try something else. And I wasn't even sure if that was the right idea. But I thought, well, we just got it. I'm going to try something else. So I sent an email to CabKing. I bought it through Amazon, and I got another email reply from them, and they said, give us a call. So I called, and I talked to Jen over there. There's 2 Jens, actually. Gen M and Gen S. And just speaking with them completely changed it. Well, especially when they explained the issue with the water and it was my fault, or not necessarily my fault, but that it, it just doesn't work that way. It's not made for that. So speaking with them, in my opinion, excuse me, CabKing is what a company, any company, but an American company should be. Why is that? Well, let me tell you. They stand behind their product. They know their product. She was able to tell me like every little thing with the pressure and the spacing and the wheels and, what this does and what that does and why not try this and why not try that, and just their thoughts and beliefs and standing behind their product. Also, it is a family-owned company. It is grandfather to grandkid, 12 to 15 people, all working as a family with great values, very personable, very nice people. It's if I have an issue, which doesn't really come up, but if I need to order something or if there's something I need to talk about. I did have a couple issues with some wheels, but it was a manufacturing issue, nothing to do with CabKing themselves. They stand behind their product. They swapped out my wheel, no problem. They are just what American companies should be and how it used to be. They stand behind their product. They're friendly, they're knowledgeable, and they want to make sure that their customers are very happy at all times. They do their best. Now, nobody's perfect. I don't know of any issues out there, and people are maybe going to comment or write in, well, I did this and that. I don't know about any of that. I just know in my personal experience that this is an amazing company. They have an amazing machine, an amazing design, and the fact of the way they are as people sold me even more so with CabKing, and there's nothing that I wouldn't do to stand behind this product as well as them. It just based on their personalities and their friendliness and their helpfulness. There's really nothing you can't make with these CabKings. They're super, super powerful. It's a really, really good machine. I've had no issues other than the water, which was actually my fault. And like I said, a few wheel issues. But I'll point out some of the differences to let you know if you're looking at getting a CabKing. Honestly, I don't think you can go wrong. Me and my wife are on these machines nearly every day of the week, between sometimes 4 hours, but usually 6 to 10 hours, just getting stuff done and polished up. And, they pretty much can do it all. As you can see here from the shapes that I have here, zoom in down here. This is the stuff that I've made just recently. This is stuff I've started. And zoom out, see that better. All of these designs and shapes I made with the CabKing. These are all started up here. Things that I have got the outside cut and haven't finished up. There's really, and obviously as much as I've been using it, there's really not much that you can't do with the CabKing. So the differences between the 6 and the 8, the 6 is smaller, but it's also a lot lighter. So if you're just somebody that needs to carry around something. It's very easy to transport it, especially with the pump system. It's awesome because you just carry a couple of buckets and the pump and the machine, and you can go and work. If you're going to visit, you know, friends and family and you need to do some work as well, you could do that. Or, you know, if it's a grandparents and they're going to visit their grandkids and they're going to be there for a couple months and they want to have something to do, they can carry it with them. The larger 8 is quite a bit more heavy. I'm not sure on the pounds. I should have looked it up, but it is quite a bit more heavy. But I mean, it's still transportable. I mean, if you have a SUV or, you know, something, I mean, it's not too heavy that you can't pick it up. I mean, I picked it up by myself and carried it, and you know, it's carryable, but this is definitely more, the 6 is more, you know, easily to maneuver and carry around. Sorry about my camera moving. My little stand is a little wobbly. But like I say, I use it all the time, and there's really nothing, especially with the spacing in this one, that you can't do. It has a flat lap on the end, so if you need to flatten anything on the bottom and you don't have a flat lap, it comes with a 360 wheel. You could get additional wheels and add them on if you needed to, you know, take out some finer scratches. Down on the other end, it has the polishing wheel, and you can add cereal powder to that, and that's for your final polish. This is made out of plastic on the bottom, but it's a very thick, sturdy plastic. This is stainless steel on the 8. It's got stainless steel shields for each side, inside and outside. Over here, this one is the same kind of plastic, a little bit thinner, same kind of plastic. This is not stainless steel, it's plastic as well, but it's very sturdy. I mean, my wife's always got, I mean, this is pretty hefty. Well, and she's got some navigators there too. Setting on top. We've had no issues with anything cracking or breaking. I use as a rest. Sometimes if I'm in here, you know, I don't put tons of pressure or anything on it, but if I'm in here and I've rested myself on this, and even the smaller one, I've had no issues with it in that way. Only issues I've had with the CabKing are issues that I've caused myself. So that's, I over tightened a couple of the water nozzles, and I happen to have these, so I just replaced those with that instead of getting the ones from CabKing. They do resell those if you need them. It's just an overall good machine, great machine. I mean, I couldn't be doing what I was doing without it. I've definitely put it through its paces, you know, up to 12 and a half, 14 hours in several days that I've worked with it. It doesn't like lose power or seem to get too hot, or, you know, I don't have any issues with that. This does get hot, it does, and there is a warning that says, you know, this will be a hot surface, but it's not, you know, anything that's, you know, a big deal. It's just, hey, don't touch this, so don't touch it. I like the fact that this is water sealed, because you're working with water, you are going to get water everywhere. It's just a great machine. I like the thick base that it's on. One issue, or not issue, but thing that is different. So on the 6, there's 2, I don't know, prongs you could say, or whatever, tabs that slide in to the top of this, and it's drilled so it holds this in a certain position when you take it apart or clean it, which we haven't done obviously by looking at it, on these, and it sets in that place, the bottom plate, it's there. Over here, this one does not. It has some little rubber tabs on the bottom to kind of hold it in place, But with me resting on it a lot, I kept moving it, and I would push it into my wheels. So what I did was I put Velcro, like the heavy duty outdoor Velcro on the bottom, and now I don't have that issue. Other than that, it works great for me. You know, all the nozzles turn on, turn off. Something else I'll show you is the difference in the sound, if that's an issue for you, just so you'll know it. This is the 6. It's got a little rattle, but it's because all the stuff sitting on it, in my opinion, but it's overall pretty quiet. The 8, when I first got it and I turned it on, it sounds like a jet engine coming on at first, but then it gets really quiet in my opinion. I'll let that one kind of slow down. You think, oh, that's loud. And then it gets quiet. Most of it was the vibration of these, to be honest, but it is louder on startup. But once you get it going, it's really quiet. I mean, it's very powerful. And, you know, like I said, I've had no issues with it. I just wanted to make sure that that was covered. And, you know, if you have any comments or questions or any concerns, you can always get in touch with me, or, you know, obviously get in touch with CabKing. They are very helpful people. They will help you in any way that they can. That's just the type of people they are. That's what I was saying, why it's a good company, and it's a family-owned company. I like that, and I like their values, and I like the way they stand behind their products, and I just don't think that you could go wrong with going with a CabKing. I haven't really dealt with any other companies in the cabbing industry to know how other companies are with their products, but just speaking in companies in general nowadays and the way that they view things, you know, once you bought it, it's yours. So sad, too bad if something happened to it. We, you know, we're not here to help you. We're here to sell you something. And if you have an issue, oh well, too bad, and on your merry way. That is not the case with CabKing, and that's why I will always use CabKing products and stand behind them. They are just an amazing company just because of the people that are there. They're all family. And that means a lot to me, and I hope it means a lot to most people out there, and the way that they stand behind their product. I do have a link here. If you want to buy through us, we can get you a discount on all products. And then I'll also add it in the comments in the videos. Also get you a discount through High Tech. And oh, my mind went blank. There's another company that they own that you can get a discount through. But like I said, if you have any issues or questions, comments, concerns, always get in touch with CabKing. The two people I've dealt with is Jen and Jen, and they are just amazing people. This is Cheyenne signing off, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.